So fantastic honour and to be here as the CEO of Tattersall's Club. My background is in hospitality. I've travelled through most of Asia working with hotel groups such as Intercontinental, Sheraton, those type of brands. But most recently I was running the Tokyo American Club, where I was for about three and a bit years, and had a big desire to come home to Australia, and the opportunity now here to be the CEO of Tats is a wonderful opportunity. So the history, of course, the history of the club. I've run a number of historical hotels in my career, including Mount Lofty House in the Adelaide Hills, Hydro Majestic in the Blue Mountains, and of course the history and the storytelling of what comes with that is what really attracted me about Tats. And of course getting home to Australia. It's been a long time, so happy to be home. Clubs are very different to hotels, but during my time, again, I think hotels and clubs are very similar in the fact that they are hospitality. Clubs, of course, you have people that are coming through every day or quite regularly, whereas hotels are more transient. So the great thing about clubs, and what I learned a lot about in Tokyo, was actually building relationships with members. So of course, having great long-time members and new members here in the club, I very much look forward to using those skills and things that I learned during that time in Tokyo here at the Tattersalls. So there was a lot of steps in between that first, and to be honest, it was by accident. So I left school early and took up an apprenticeship as a chef, and enjoyed my days working as a chef, but eventually got pulled out from the kitchen onto the floor and sort of worked my way up that way through hotels originally. And then moved into management very early, and then got into clubs, as mentioned, only 3 or so years ago. But again, they're very closely related, and still love my cooking. Was never going to be a star chef. I knew that very early, but again, still enjoy my food and getting out and doing all those things associated with that. I think the move to Asia was probably my most rewarding and memorable. In Seoul, I was running almost, in hospitality terms, a small city. We had 2,500 staff, 21 restaurants, 1,200 rooms across 2 massive complexes. Motocross was where it all sort of started for me. I started riding bikes at a very young age. Raced semi-professionally up until 16 years old, 16, 17. Moved away from motorbikes and went into cars, and in fact wanted to be a professional auto sport, whether it was bikes or cars. Ran out of money and obviously not enough talent, and fell into hospitality, and here I am. But still love it, still very passionate about it. Anything with an engine, I'm pretty much involved in, so more so from a spectator's perspective nowadays. Obviously, people now have so much choice of what it is and where they spend their money, and their time, more importantly. Clubs, I think, now are looking for, or need to be more relevant with where they are and where they're going, whilst not forgetting their past. And the past is very important. So finding a balance of what that is, I think, is the biggest challenge. This is a very big thing. I think, people's expectations obviously come with that as well, but it's great to be part of a bigger group of clubs, and where you can lean on and keep a reference on what's going on with other clubs. Very important to stay relevant, as I mentioned before. So I think being part of that group gives us another way to keep on top of trends and things that are changing within the industry. And also, to reach out, there's a reciprocal part of it, which gives our members great opportunities to go and experience other clubs as well around the world. So it's great to be a part of that group.